Hey folks, Rowan from Silver Tiger Media, very proud to introduce Chris and Ben from none other than Blackstone Cherry. Guys, how are you?
Good,
man. How you doing?
It is just sensational to have you here, that's how I'm doing. Absolutely thrilling.
We're glad to be here, man. The jet lag, from what our liaison guy told us, yesterday was the worst day for the jet lag, right? So we're hoping to be over it. Like, we feel better today.
I think I'm finally on a schedule now.
Oh, brilliant.
I hope I am. Hell, I was asleep before the show last night. Ben woke me up and he's like, "Hey man, you gotta sign all these albums." And I went back to sleep, and then finally he was like, "Hey dude, we're on stage in like 30 minutes. You gotta get up."
Really?
So we played, went back to the hotel and crashed.
But nothing better than a bit of negative reinforcement to say, guys, by the way, this is the worst day for,
right?
for a bit of jet lag.
But we finished the show and we're like, "God, we made it through it. I don't know how." He goes, "Well, this is your absolute worst day you're gonna have for jet lag is day 3. And we're like,
I believe it.
I don't doubt that a bit.
Look, I've got to ask you, from Magic Mountain, where you achieved a good amount of commercial success, and that's really what the album was aimed towards, but then going into the house, I mean, from Kentucky Headhunters with all that heritage, I've got to ask you, guys, each of you, when you walk into that house, what do you see and what do you feel?
Man, that house just pulses music. I mean, we've been playing there together for a band for 15 years, and I've been playing in that house for 18 with John Fred, 18 years, you know, so
It's lots of memories. Like, you can walk in still, and like the smell of that house alone can immediately take you back to like when the band first started.
You talking about the combination of mold and non-champa?
Non-champa, incense, and mildew, and just tube amps. You know, it's just and just wood, and it's just really cool. It has so much vibe. You know, for such a little place, it has so much atmosphere. You know,
the walls are like a rock and roll hall of fame, man.
Yeah.
They just literally when the Headhunters were Itchy Brother, they would put posters on the walls to keep the drafts out in the wintertime.
Oh, cool.
So and they just stayed, you know. So when you're writing songs and looking up and like you play a riff you think is cool, and you look up and see a mountain album cover, you're like, no, it wasn't that cool.
And you had done some photographic work with the brilliant Rob Fink, but it was actually John's shot of the front of the house that made it to the album cover. How did that come about?
We did the photos, which is really weird. We did it backwards this time, which usually, you know, you record the album, and usually just right before you start touring, you do all the photos and all that kind of stuff. This time, we took the photos just, you know, a few weeks before we started recording the album, so we kind of got it out of the way. And we got it right at the end of summer, beginning of fall, when things were starting to change back home, you know, so it was a really good time for us to get photos. But we were literally in the same areas where that photo was taken, and the photographer, Rob Finn, there's another house close to this one. It's just an old rundown farm shack.
Sure.
He got a really cool shot of it, and when we got the photo proofs back, we're like, man, that looks cool, that house gotta be a cool vibe or something. Maybe
the first idea for the album cover.
Yeah. And then we're thinking to ourselves, well, if we're gonna put a house on the album cover, why are we putting this random farmhouse? We need to put the practice house on there. So John, we told John, and he does a lot of the artwork stuff anyway. He drove back down to the practice house one evening right before it got dark and snapped that photo. And that's what it is, you know.
Oh, it's incredible, and it captures the image so well. We were just talking about the fact that the music takes you there so sensationally, and to have that imagery of the house on the cover is just a stroke of brilliance, as was your cover of War. How did that come about? I mean, I can hear the Temptation saying, yes, that's the balls we were after.
Man, dude, literally that song, we had a song of ours that we were going to record, and we decided not to do it. And we recorded Evil, which is on one of the bonus editions of the record. And that was originally going to take the place of it on the record, but we needed a couple more songs for B-sides. And we're like, hell no, let's just do some covers, you know, have some fun, do something we've never done before. And we were going through a list of Motown #1s. I plugged my phone into the speakers at the studio, and we were just going through all this stuff, and we were sitting on a Stevie Wonder song. We were going to do either Signed, Sealed, Delivered or Living for the City. And we just kept going, and War came on, and we were like, that's the one, hands down. And I kid you not, 10 minutes later, we were up in the live room of the studio recording the song. Ben and John Fred playing, I'm singing, and John's trying to help it conduct, and we're just figuring the thing out. And then we built it up to what it is, man. It came out really cool. It's crazy to have a song mean as much as it did, you know, when it was released 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Most certainly, yeah, and done so well. And while we're on that point, the fact is that with the backing musicians and vocalists that you got in for both that and Soul Machine, you managed to capture essentially the essence of your entire experience on this earth and crammed it into one album.
Yeah.
Was that the intent, or do you think that was more a natural progression?
I think it was natural, really.
Because we had to self-produce this album.
Yeah.
So it was us calling all the shots.
I mean,
we were able to do essentially whatever we did. Like Chris said, you know.
And I don't want this to sound negative, but like, we spent 10 years kind of under the thumb of a record label saying, we love what you do, but can you do it a little more like this?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that worked great for us for 10 years, man, but after doing it as long as we have, and, you know, everybody being married and having kids and that other stuff, it's kind of like, we're going to keep doing this, we're going to do it the way we want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we found a home in Mascot where they were like, we believe in you, go make us a record, we'll put it out.
And how was it? I understand Ed, the owner of Mascot, was actually really, really supportive of you keeping to your true roots. Did you find that was the case?
He's a guitar guy, man, which is great for Ben and I.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's amazing to be like, you know, not have to worry about shortening a guitar solo in a song, just play the damn thing longer if you want to, you know. And it's cool just to get back to keep getting things as musical as we were able to on this record. You know, it wasn't really a format of, well, let's be at the chorus of this song by 30 seconds, that way it'll get on radio. We didn't give a shit, man. It was just like, let's just go in here and make a record that rocks and that we believe in, and then hopefully people will dig it, man.
Oh yeah, and you can't help but dig it. I mean, you can even though there's covers on the album or a cover, you can hear Cream, you can hear Hendrix. I mean, you can hear Mountain, all the stuff that you guys must have grown up with and enjoyed. Although you're into
Checks in the mail.
Oh, thank you very much. So we accept credit card, no problem there. But it's the amount of soul that you've managed to push into the album, but keeping true to that bluegrass sound is really a stroke of genius. Was it really just an accident? Was it just you guys coming together and just enjoying your music again, that freedom that really led to Kentucky being so sensational?
There was something special about, man, going back 10 years after, almost 10 years, like we did this record in October, right? September, October?
October.
We did it, it was October. We recorded our first record from the end of October through the beginning of December at the same studio, literally 10 years prior. So it was a month short of being a 10-year anniversary of us recording a record with David with his equipment. And just going back there, man, and getting back to the four of us and him in the studio, it was such a breath of fresh air that, like, no ideas went unheard, and, you know, everybody had their input on everything. I mean, literally, like, just because I'm the guy that sings all the songs doesn't mean that everybody else isn't throwing melodies at me, you know what I mean? Or humming guitar parts to Ben and I, or us telling John, you know, giving John Fred ideas for drum beats. It was the most collaborative between the four of us and most openly discussed bunch of songs we've ever done, because it was, at the end of the day, if people thought it was, you know, shit, it's on the four of us. Because our names are on it. It's not, you know, a Howard Benson or Joe Barresi or Bob Marlette.
Yeah. It's
Chris Ben, John Fred. You know what I mean? So if people don't like it, it's our fault, nobody else. So, but we didn't make a conscious effort to go, we got to sound like this or we got to sound like this. I mean, hell, there's songs like, you look at In Our Dreams was just really heavy. And then you've got Cheaper to Drink Alone, which has got a drum loop on the front of it.
Yeah.
Like, we literally did things we've wanted to do for 10 years, man. We wanted to have background singers. We wanted to have horns. We wanted to use a synthesizer in spots. We wanted to do drum loops, and we just never been able to do it because there was always a reason that people told us we shouldn't do that stuff because it doesn't sell or get played on radio anymore. And hell, we don't get played on radio that much. So we're just like, let's go make a record, man, and do whatever we want. And so far, it's just been overwhelming the amount of support that we've gotten from this record.
Right down to your vocals, I have to say, I love the way John Fred says that you've come out like a beast. Is there something that has released you? I mean, your vocals on these are just leaps and bounds above everything else that was already good. But there's something, there's a plug taken out, you've just killed it, nailed it.
Well, there's a plug-in taken off because there's no tuning on it.
Indeed, yeah.
Seriously, that's the one thing I'm the most proud of about this record personally is the fact of, you know, past the guitars and the solos and all that stuff, the fact that this is the first record we've ever done where there wasn't somebody editing the vocals and, you know, pitch correcting stuff here and there. It was literally just, I sang until I got it right. And I don't know, man, it was just like, this was the easiest the vocals have ever been on the record.
Wow.
I literally just sang them like I would sing the songs live. And, you know, but like, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that when we recorded the songs, we recorded them as if we were playing them live.
Mm.
You know, and I think that's where some of the intensity and the different vibe and, you know, everything from the drumming to the vocals on this record, we've always been told that people like our band better live, so we tried to make a live studio album, but not like Kiss Alive, like a real studio album.
Most certainly. Of course, essentially, John, Fred and yourself, Chris, grew up together, and Ben, you came along around about the 8th grade. If you don't mind a personal opinion, the fact is that this album almost oozes family, if that makes sense. It's like you guys have put together an album where you're demonstrating how you've literally grown up together over 15 years.
That's an awesome way to look at it. It really is. I mean, like I said, we spent 10 years traveling the world, and this is what came out of it.
Mm.
You know, we've lived together. We've lived together more on a bus, the 4 of us and our crew guys, than we've been around our families in the last 10 years by a long shot.
Mm.
So, you know, I mean, and the thing about us is we've always been friends before we were a band.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's finally coming out in the music, man, because there's no oppressive thumb there holding anything back or squashing anything down.
Yeah, that's great. That bomb is definitely well demonstrated on Kentucky, but absolutely sensational album. And here touring in Melbourne with Steel Panther, and how was Sydney last night? Was it a good show?
It was great. I mean, it was like, I think it was like 3,000 people. Like I said, just our first time being in Australia is just cool enough, you know. So to see people out there like with our shirts on and some of the people singing along to the songs is a really overwhelming feeling, because, you know, you come into each place, especially new places, you have to come in unexpected. You know, you can't just expect it to be like a place you've been playing for years, or you'll be let down. You know, so, you know, for us, we go up there, and, you know, if one person knew the band, we got a fan in Australia. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of way I had to look at it. So it was really neat. And, this overwhelming support that we've gotten online on Facebook from our fans here, you know, that have wanted us to play here for so long, and now we are. So it's really cool, and it feels cool to be like, you know, planting a seed in this country that hopefully we can come back and water it and let it continue to grow, just like, you know, we try to do
Just
everything.
not 10 years later.
Not 10 years, yeah, but next year would be great. Next week it'd be even better if we can manage that. But we cannot thank you enough for coming over to see us and to play live for us. Gentlemen, congratulations on Kentucky. Absolutely sensational album. Thank you so much for your time, and we can't wait to see you kick some major ass tonight, bluegrass style. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.